On the Mic with Mike, Richmond's premier business radio platform.
Judge, how you judges say we going corporate? Nah, we just corner boys with the corner office. We not the cap table, what the split says. Not that cap table, boy, we live this.
Promoting how business can make the community better. No one does it better than Mike King Biz. On the Mic with Mike. Check it out.
Are you ready to check?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mic with Mike. Mike King here, coming to you from the Mike King Biz Call Federal Media Center, high above Henrico. You can follow me on all the social platforms, which are on the Mic with Mike RVA, as well as Mike King Biz. We talk to the best and the brightest. This is the premier business media program. This is a digital program / radio. You can follow me every Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Richmond. All right, I talk to some people. I got some miles on me.
You got that down pat. That was
yes,
wild.
well, that's what I do. I travel, and I thought I had been some places. And then I meet you. And I'm like,
I get that a lot.
I haven't been. I haven't seen the world. And on top of that, the way I saw the world, that travel agent in the United States Army, it isn't exactly, 5-star.
Right.
We'll get you there. But it's not going to, the accommodations while traveling leave something to be desired. Ebony Walden is in the building. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Tell folks here what you do.
Well, during the daytime,
You do a lot.
Yeah,
You
I was
do
about to
a
say.
lot.
Well, I can say that in the
You're a
daytime.
Renaissance woman.
Yes. And I'm in a Renaissance woman in a Renaissance. In the daytime, I have a consulting business. So I work with nonprofits at the intersection of organizational development, racial equity work, and leadership development. So I do trainings, I do workshops, I do retreats, I do coaching. But the more interesting side, not that isn't interesting.
Can we, before we get to the interesting stuff, I work with a lot of nonprofits.
Yes, me too.
Yes, and so a lot of times they struggle.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing that you see you're gonna, whether they tell it to you in the first meeting or the third meeting, but organizations struggle with this, it's just a matter of when they talk about it?
So I think that there's two things. So most of my clients or most of the people that I'm engaging with are executive directors or in the C-suites of nonprofits. So because the nonprofit arena is based on you're trying to get grants and charity or trying to have some line of business, I think fundraising is always in the room, particularly as these federal funding, funding's been caught. So that is also always a scramble. The hardest thing is that you have to keep going and following these grants in order to serve the people that you want to serve. I think number two is how to be a balanced, and I mean balanced like life balance leader in the midst of an environment where you're always trying to chase funds, but you're trying to meet needs that are greater than your organization could actually do. So there's a natural tension. So I think leaders that can be both visionary and take care of themselves and try to figure out how are we going to have a culture within our organization that not only matches our mission, that helps people that work here live well, be well, while they're doing good work.
Because it's hard to, like I always say to people, who takes care of the caregiver?
Exactly.
Because the caregiver will not stop.
Exactly.
They do not know that pause button, and then they start running into problems running organizations because they have to take care of themselves.
Exactly. So part of what I feel like my work is really helping to clarify mission, problem solve, and think strategically with nonprofit leaders to care for them. Because like you said, who's caring for the caregiver? Who's going to be your coach? Who's going to be your thought partner? Who is going to be the person that says, yes, I'm having this communication issue, I'm having this culture issue, I'm having this racial equity or inclusion issue, and I really need somebody's brain from outside that can see it from a very different lens and help me figure out what is the strategy going forward.
you're here because you're a travel expert. You've been around, but I do a lot with the nonprofits, and I want to really stay here for 1 second.
Come on.
Okay, so there is a group called the Virginia Council of CEOs, and you have to do $1 million and have 5 employees to be part of the group. Okay. And one of the things they talk about is, as the leader, as a CEO, you can't. Who do you talk to?
Exactly.
Because you can't go to your employees, because that's not going to work out well.
Right, exactly.
Because they're going to look at you. What do nonprofit leaders, like, is there something like that for them? Or who do they go to? Because the other one, like the Council of CEOs, we're not here to fix it or judge you. We just need a sounding board, and if there's something that makes sense, we can help you. If we're not competitive.
Yeah, so there's a myriad of ways. So in Richmond, they have a African American nonprofit leaders group, right? That is something like that. Yeah, African American nonprofit leaders, they have a network where they're meeting and doing just that and supporting nonprofits. I run and facilitate and design a lot of leadership development programs. So I run one for a housing organization called Virginia Housing Alliance, and it is 10 months, and I'm pretty much supporting 15, me and my co-facilitator are supporting 15 leaders in the housing arena that they're either in the C-suite or trying to get them to the C-suite in their career. What does support look like? So all of them have coaches. They do a LPI, which is a 360 assessment, and all of our and this model is a person role systems model. So I'm looking at you like, why are you here? What's your mission and vision for your life, not just for your career? And how does your career fit into that? What are the gifts and skills and talents that you have that nobody else have that you want to bring to the world? Are you in the right position, and are you harnessing your unique gifts in the right way? You have to have the right fuel. And then your role. What does that mean for you and your role? How do you fit into whether you're the CEO, the CFO, the program director, or operations person? How do your gifts fit into that role and usher that role forward? What are your points of power and what are your points of influence? So power, you make the decision. But if you're not the CEO, and even if you are, you have a board, where are the ways in which you want to influence for the larger impact? That's the system. What is the impact you want to have in the system with your gifts, your role, and in whatever arena you are? So I think that there are a bunch of leadership development programs. My program is not unique around the nonprofit arena that you can get involved in, as well as associations. But I would say, just from a personal perspective, get a coach. Even if you have your board members, you can rely on them for strategy, for helping you fundraise, for thinking about how to run an organization. But you need somebody that is from the outside of your environment and arena. Every leader, I think you should have a coach, you should have a mentor, and you should have a sponsor, right? Coach is going to help you work through the day-to-day of your job and of life. A mentor is going to give you advice. A sponsor is going to be like you were telling me before you got here. They're going to bring you in the room and open doors that you can't necessarily open. We all need that. And you may have a cadre of friends, supporters, people praying for you, advising you, depending on who you are, where you want to be in the future, and how they can support you.
Ebony Walden. You didn't know you were coming here for that, did you?
I did not.
Okay, so the idea of it, I have a friend, Jennifer Montague, who runs Columbia Gas of Virginia.
Okay.
And she says a lot of times black women are over-mentored and under-sponsored. People would tell you, I ate ramen 29 months in a row and all that. But that idea of taking you into the room.
Put my name in places, it ain't never gonna be by myself.
And so that's the idea, and that is the power of it. And I tell people, if you're not in the relationship business.
Yeah, it actually really is all about relationships. And not from I think that I try to be in relationship from a curiosity perspective, right? Of like curious about you, curious about your life. And there may be a point of exchange and development. And when you start from that piece, I think it makes it more interesting than, I'm just trying to get something from you, right? I'm trying to be in a relationship with you. And it may be a mutual exchange. You know, people who have power and position and influence for the most part, I find, particularly if they're black folks, from my perspective, they really want to help other people.
Yes.
And so when I come in a room and I may need something, they're like, oh, I met this person. They're fulfilling a need or purpose in my life because I want to help people. You know what I mean? And so I think it focus on the mutuality and focus on really getting to know people. Before I started my business, years before, I started to just interview entrepreneurs. Just interview people and say, hey, you're doing something that I really want to do. Can I get 20 to 30 minutes of your time? Everybody, this is a secret, everybody loves to tell their story. If you say, I just think you're interesting and I want to hear your story, people are gonna be like, okay, I get 20 minutes for you, because mostly people just want to, they want to engage, but they love other people telling their story if they have time. And then you really get their story, and then invariably, because this is human interaction, well, they're going to say, well, tell me a little bit about you and how I can help you, right? So if you start with getting their story, they're going to want to get their story, your story, and then they're going to say, well, how may I be able to help you? Or you might say, hey, I would love to just maybe meet for coffee 4 times a year or something like that, and would love to pick your brain about, be specific, know what you want, because people love, people love other people that are going to maximize their time.
Yes.
Right? So don't come willy-nilly. No, I got 5 questions for you.
That's it.
Right? We ain't got to get to all 5, but I got something that your brain and your experience is going to, just hearing that is just going to enrich my life. So I think it really is about relationships.
How can people get information about that side of your life?
Yeah, you can just, everything is on my website. So it's Ebony Walden Consulting. My website is ebonywalden.com. So you can find out about me as an author, me as a filmmaker, me as a speaker, and me as a consultant.
I.e. a Renaissance woman. Alrighty, ma'am.